Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome back to our part 2 lesson where we are explaining the different subcategories of ism, mu'arab and mabni. As we were continuing explaining mu'arab and I explained what mu'arab is, now I'm moving to i'rab. What is actually i'rab? It's a grammatical state where it tells us what state the word is. Is it in its rafa form, nasab form, or jar form? And I will explain equally what's rafa, nasab, and jar. So, i'rab is basically diacritical points where it is placed on the last letter of the word and any governing factor that changes it to any of the forms. The governing factors can change it to rafa state, it can change it to nasab state, it can change that particular letter to the nasab state, to the jar state. So there are three states where the whole grammar is dependent on, especially the nouns. They are depending on number one, rafa, number two, nasab, number three, jar. So now we will be looking on the male words. This is a beautiful Arabic language that they are male words and they are also female words. So the male words we'll be talking about first, and then female words, and then you'll find the difference between the male and female words also in this lesson. Starting with rafa, we have three types of subcategories further. We will be having singular words, dual words, and plural words. Yeah, not like in other language where we have singular and plural only. So in singular word, let's say for example the word muslimun, or you can say that take the word mu'minun. Huge words are like that in the Quran. Kafirun, salihun, all of these words. Wherever we find dhammatain, it tells me that the word is singular and it's in the state of rafa. Okay, basically all the nouns by its own they are always in the state of rafa. It's a governing factor that makes it in the state of nasab or jar, and by that governing factor the meaning also changes. So it is very technical, because the translation of the text totally depends on these states. So if it's a singular word and it's a male word, so you will find dhammatain in the end of the letter. It tells me that it's in the state of rafa. The grammatical state of this word is rafa. If I add any other governing factor, let's say I'm adding a verb to it or any particle to it, accordingly the state of this word will change with its meaning. Inshallah, when we go further, you will be explained how the word changes from one factor to another governing factor, and how there are variations in the meaning as well. If you find fathatain on the letter, on the noun, basically fathatain on the noun, it tells me that it is in the nasab state. Once again, I'm talking about the singular words that are male. Okay, if I found fathatain on the last letter of the word, it means that it is in the state of nasab. Then we have jar state, one of the rarest state but very effective in the meanings. It comes mostly with the particles, right? So if I find kasratain in the last letter of the word, it means that it's in the state of jar. Okay, that's with the male singular words. Let's come to the duals. Yeah, that's a beautiful language. It does not only have singular and plural, but it also covers the dual also, right? So if it's a male word and it's in dual state, how will I come to know? I'll only come to know by seeing this alif and noon. The word is Muslim. I attached alif noon to it. It became in Rafa state, denoting me that it's in dual form. Right? So this is how I understand that this is dual and it's in the state of Rafa and it's a masculine word. Then how will I come to know if it's in nasab state? I see I have ya and noon. That means the word was Muslim. I attach to it ya and noon. It becomes, not only ya noon, but ta, ya, noon. 3 letters. Ta, ya, noon. And it becomes in nasab state and it is called muslimatayni. And this one muslimani. Then similarly in jar state it stays the same, muslimatayni. So how will we differentiate between nasab and jar? It is based on the meaning and text. So we understand from the text and we understand from the meaning whether it is in the nasab state or it is in the jar state. So it is with the habitual reading and understanding of the text. Then we come back, go down to the jama, that means plural. How do we find that the word is plural and it's in rafa state, speaking about noun and the male words? We see waw and noon. The waw and noon tells us that this word Muslim is in the jama state. So take any example like mu'min, add waw noon to it, it becomes mu'minun. So many examples in Quran, so much of examples of mu'minun in Quran. Salih, add waw noon to it, salihun. Kafir, add waw noon to it, kafirun. So kafir was a singular word in plural, a singular word in the state of rafa. When you added waw noon to it, it became plural automatically in the state of jama. Then we have in the state of nasab, how do we find? We find it by ya and noon. The word was Muslim, we added ya, noon to it and it become Muslimina. And just it stays the same, Muslimina. This were for the male words. How the male word, when it's singular, it acts in the state of rafa. How does it act in the state of nasab and in the state of jar, followed by the dual and plural. Now let me talk about the female words. That's the depth of the language, because male words are totally different than female words. In the female words, we will use the word same as Muslim, but we will add a round ta to it. Now, this round ta tells me that this is a female word. If I remove the round ta, it tells me it's male word. So the differentiation between the male and female word is the round ta. Right? But the process remains the same in telling me it's in rafa state or jar, because it will be muslimatun. Muslimatun. Here it will be muslimatan. And in the state of jar, it will be muslima. So what did I do? I just added ta round ta, or it is in Arabic it's called ta marbuta, round ta, and I followed the same concept of tun in the state of rafa, tan in state of nasab, and tin in state of jar. Let's go and do it. What we do there? It's the same word, Now the same word will be attached with alif and noon. See, I'll just show. It is the same word. To make it dual in the form of in the state of rafa, and it's a female word, I'm just attaching alif noon. What does it become? Muslimatani. How do I write? Muslimatani. Right? Then we come here in the state of nasab. Okay, I need to correct something that as I told that for the masculine word I have added ta to it. It's actually not ta. Ta, if I add ta, it becomes a feminine. So it's for the male words is muslimaini, and for female words is muslimatain. So it was muslimatun. I just added ya noon to it, and it becomes muslimataini. And similarly, and for the female, we add ya noon. Basically for dual, we add ya noon for duals, and also ya noon for the plurals. It's just that for dual it becomes tiny, and here it becomes for duals the preceding letter to the ya will always have fatha, and in the plurals the preceding letter to ya always has a kasra. That's the only difference. Ya noon is added to the duals in the state of nasab and jar, and also to the plurals in the state of nasab and jar. The only difference will be the ya preceding it will be kasra in the state of jama, and ya preceding in the state of dual, the preceding will be fatha always. That's the only difference. So since we are talking about females, it will be tiny, tiny. When you talk about but the plural of female in the jama changes completely. It becomes muslimatun. Muslimatun in the state of rafa, the feminine word. Muslimatun. And the same follows here. Muslimatin. And then Muslimatin. So that's the only difference in the female words. In the state of plural, in the state of rafa, it will be muslimatun. Alif and ta with the tanween sign, dhammatain, is added, and it shows me that it's in the state of rafa. Whereas in the nasab, it will be alif, ta with the kasratain sign, and in the jar also the same. So these are the plural of a female word. Plural of the female words. The male words will be muslimuna, waw noon and ya noon, where ya will be preceding before it a kasra. Where in dual, it looks the same, you might get confused, but in the dual, the ya will always proceed with the fatha. And in the plural, it will always proceed with the kasra in the masculine words. Alright? So this is how the rafa, nasab and jar works, and the basics of it in the male and female words. This type of plurality of muslimatin and muslimuna and muslimin are called jama salim. Right? Because it stays the singular always stays the same. We are just adding the words extra to it to make it plural. And there are some jama mukathar where the similarity of the word does not stays the same, and inshallah we'll have a lesson on that as we move ahead. So this is one of the very important and technical lessons. I'm sure you guys might be having doubts for it or any questions to it, and you can approach me on my email that I will be providing on the description, and you can contact me on that for this. This is the basics. If you understand this one, it will help you in understanding or identifying the nouns easily in the Quran, and you can tell that this is in the state of rafa, nasab, or jar. All this word muslimatin, muslimina, muslimataini. Well, duals you will find in hadith so much. In Quran there is, but mostly it's been mudaf and sometimes not. But you can find in Quran all of these things. All the examples of wahid means singular, tathniya means dual, plurals means jama means plural. So you can find all of these examples in the Quran. And if there is any question, once again you can contact me for any of your doubts or clarifications. I can inshallah reply back to your email. Thank you so much. Jazakallah khair. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.